Welcome back from that coffee break. It is still a very cold weather here in Kampala. And we are still celebrating the women, the mothers, although some of us confused Mother's Day for Women's Day. But regardless, whoever plays a woman role in your life or whoever you know, we are celebrating them this entire month of March. And today we are going to look at the role of women in community development in regards to humanitarian engineering and also climate resilient infrastructure, not forgetting disaster preparedness. And who best could we scout for other than Engineer Simire Annette, who is a Ugandan. First, she's a female, of course. The name says it all. She is an engineer, consultant, and a trainer with over 20 years of experience in infrastructure, climate resilience, and sustainable development. She's also a founder and managing director of 3N Tech Innovations, who has also trained the policymakers, being on a high-table climate resolution conferences. So we are going to have a depth and in-depth of what would women be doing in regards to all this that I've mentioned you about. Good morning, Engineer.
Good morning, Joanne.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Happy belated Women's Day.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
you can greet our viewers and then we get into business strictly.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, our viewers. And happy belated Women's Day to all the women, all the mothers out there. Yeah, I'm happy to be a woman and happy to join you this morning. Thank you for the invitation.
Okay.
You're busy. I can't take the opportunity for granted. I really do appreciate you putting your trust in me. Thank you.
It is a pleasure. Briefly, tell me about 3N Tech Innovations Consultants Limited.
Yeah.
What do you do? What is your goal? What is your vision?
Okay. 3N Tech Innovations Consultancy, it's a consultancy. We focus mostly on engineering, energy, and most especially in areas of capacity building. And we advise our clients based on those areas I've mentioned, but mostly our opportunities have mostly been in trainings. And our vision is to see that we have solutions, and solutions that are locally led, where people are part of the solutions to their problems. And we look at holistically, how do we build a better Uganda and a better Africa in general. Okay,
I understand you are an associate trainer somewhere. Is it a Red R in UK?
Yeah, I'm an associate trainer with Red R UK, where I also serve on the Members Council. And I'm also a trainer with Global Center on Adaptation, where we train, I train master classes on climate resilient infrastructure. We have been running a project called Africa Adaptation Acceleration Program, and we are training governments, professions across Africa.
Okay, thank you so much for that preamble. If you did not know, 3N Tech Innovations and Consultants, you have it there from the horse's mouth. Now, for my viewer out there, women are central agents in community development and growth. They do participate in agriculture, in production, a lot of sectors. So we want to know from you, Engineer, what is the role of women in community development?
Thank you. That is very interesting because women play a central, they are central actors in the community development because of their multiplier effect. When a woman does something or gets an income, she invests back to the community, to the local infrastructure. And on top of that, women are holistic problem solvers. They see overlooked community needs. Like when there is a problem with water, it's the women who will tell you which water source is not working. It's the women who will tell you the distances they walk to find firewood. So women are central in community development because they understand community needs at grassroots. and therefore they are deeply involved in our community lives, and they have practical knowledge of the community challenges. Like I've said, they understand our communities better. So looking at a community like ours, where you find it is 50% men and women, so we need to involve women in planning, in decision making, because we know that leaving out 50% of the population means a big deal. They understand better our challenges. So communities will develop faster when women are involved. For example, if you look globally, research has showed that projects where women are involved, they succeed and they last longer. I'll give an example. There is a time in Uganda, a story was running that a health center was built in Western Uganda. I think in Bunyoro region there. And women did not go to give birth in that health center because it was a maternity ward. And they were being told that the first woman to give birth there will die or the child will die. Myths
going on and misinformation
yes.
in the public.
But why did it come out like that? It's because women were not involved initially in the planning, in decision making. So if we get women involved in planning and decision making, we shall have more development coming up. And even these projects will be more resilient, and there will be ownership, automatic ownership. Because if I'm involved in a project, I will own it. I'm part of the decision. Therefore, I will not go against my own decision. So women strengthens resilience in that sense, that if they are involved in community development, the projects become more resilient and they become better prepared for the challenges. Like we talked of water sources and whatnot. If women were involved in the establishment of such infrastructure, they will be able to better maintain the infrastructure and be able to own it, and the infrastructure will be able to serve better. Yes.
Well, speaking of that, engineer, in rural areas, especially where women play a critical role in managing natural resources like water, you mentioned yourself, actually, they're not even recognized because they feel they are a bit lesser than the men. But while we were commemorating International Women's Day at Kololo, from the message of the president that was delivered by the vice president, Major Retired Jessica Alupo, the president said women are actually better managers in projects compared to other people. And well, I think that was a very profound statement. So in what other areas do women play a role in community development?
Yeah, thank you. I think, like the president mentioned, that women can be better, they are better managers. I also think women can be better engineers, can be better planners, can be better policymakers, in the sense that women bring unique leadership styles. Yeah, because women often lead with collaboration. Women prefer consensus building and long-term thinking, which help build trust and social cohesion. So women can be good leaders. They should be involved in projects, committees. If there are infrastructure projects, let them be part of those committees. Let them be part of the planning of their projects in their communities, be part of implementation team and M&E, even monitoring and evaluation, because they are keen, they are the key users, and they will be able to understand, to advise better. When something goes wrong, they know why and how, because they have been there from the inception. Yeah.
Because we've seen so many circumstances whereby women are called on board when things have failed or have gone berserk because they've not been included while there was orientation and inception. Speaking of which, for the ordinary viewer out there, by the way, you can profile your thoughts on our WhatsApp number there for Good Morning Uganda. You can voice your thoughts on 0709 6025 9207096025. We are talking about the role of women in community development. You can profile your opinions there, and we shall have to voice them here on Good Morning Uganda. It is the agenda. So after all that, after the women have been involved, we have seen their role. What impact is there for the few projects whereby women have been involved?
Yeah, impact is there because when a woman gets income, the whole family benefits. She doesn't benefit alone. We know that in our talk of women at grassroots, like you said, most of our families are women. Okay, the husbands are the heads.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to replace men with women, but you find women are playing a key role in children's education, paying school fees, in child care. When a child is sick, it's rare to find that there are men attending to that child. Even when you visit our health centers or your hospitals, you find 90% of the attendants are women. Because that means the women are putting in, they are not just attending, but they are putting in their time, they are putting in their resources in terms even of finance and so on. So women's impact always multiplies in that sense. And even you look at when a disaster happens, we've seen many places where for example, there have been fire incidences. You find it is already the women. I've read so many stories where they said the woman ran back to pick the children and she died in the fire. Where are always the daddies of those children? Where are always the men? And there are some examples. They are always women. They are always the first responders. So meaning women, if the women are empowered economically and they can lead with a lot of confidence and they are able to multiply their impact. Because for them, they don't only think about themselves, but you find they are looking at the whole community as a whole. How do we develop together as a community?
Thorough remarks are there from Engineer Annette. Of course, it is definitely true that women do have the multiplier effect. As the saying goes, once you educate a woman, you've educated the entire generation, because we do transfer all our values, the good ones, to the next generation, to our children. But when you educate a man, you've only educated one person. As the saying goes, charity begins at home. So, Engineer Annette, you as a leader in the engineering fraternity, do you think women are empowered enough in terms of accessing credit?
No. No. Because why I say no, and I say it with all the confidence, because I will give an example of the recent project which came to Uganda, which was sponsored by World Bank. I think it was a grant, partly, which was about GROW project. GROW project, yes. I attended one of the workshops. I mobilized women in engineering. We attended one of the workshops in Bugolobi Royal Hotel. And we were told it's a grant. It's going to support women, small and medium enterprises. Time came, myself, I also wrote a proposal there. But for me, I was focusing on building skills for women, because sometimes women are limited to those opportunities because of limited skills. So I had written a proposal. I will not talk much about it. Okay. But a few women I referred to the GROW project to apply for that money. Very few got it. Why? Because they were asking either you have a land title or you have a land agreement if it is outside Kampala. In Kampala, you need a land title. In Kampala? Yes. To access the GROW money? That is what they were told? Yes. Wow. Outside Kampala, you need a land agreement. How many women have those, how many women have land titles? In Kampala. And how many have even land agreements up country? So I think it's not enough has been done to support women in terms of economic empowerment. Okay, there are a few who got that money, I can say those who are already somewhere. Actually, I think the people I know who got the money are people who are already somewhere, who have already assets.
Who may not even need it.
Who have assets already worth billions of shillings, are the ones who got like the 200 million, which was the maximum. And you find these other women. Me, I want to tell you honestly, 90% of the women I referred to get the grow money did not get it. Some are still struggling up to today because of those requirements. So I think one thing probably government could do is to make it easier for women. Trust the women. If I have my small business I'm running, you've come and seen it, there is proof that this is my business. Don't ask me about the land title. I'm renting premises. It's not that we are defaulters. Trust and give them the money. You may give them small so that you first see how they use it and give them more. But when you start asking for things they don't have, you are literally excluding them from the project.
Completely thorough remarks there. When we speak of leadership, women in leadership like you are, do you think women have been incorporated or integrated in policy decision making, especially in higher offices?
Yeah, I would say yes and no, partly because I know at national level, I was looking at the New Vision today. Is it New Vision? There is a list of many women who are leading in this country at national level, which is good. But when you come to to other structures, you find the women involvement is still very low. We are talking of, I think the mandatory would be 30%. But I know very many institutions where even the 30% is not, including our own, Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, and even the Engineers Registration Board. When you look at the percentage of women versus the men on boards or council, they are not 30%. When you look at women in leadership in this country like they were showing, look at them and look at the institutions we have in this country. You find women are less than 10%. So I would be glad to see that at all structures of government, there is at least the 30%. And given that even our population, we are 50% women and 50% men, it would be good if we were 50-50, if this country would change, but make it 50-50. Another level I would look at is, we know our government has been promoting women emancipation and gazetting that position for women, woman MP, reserving it for women. But I think the framework, to me, is not the best. Because some women have owned some districts. You find it is one woman. We've seen those women for 20, 30 years. Then you ask yourself, how many other women are in that district?
Is she the only capable one?
I mean, so to me, I think we can do better. Maybe the framework should be more improved or upgraded, that if this has served for 2 term limits, even when it is your party, say, you also think of, we can bring up another woman.
We can nurture another woman.
Yes, if you are in that chair for 5 years, also groom another woman, take over from you. So I think we are still, there is something, because we are talking about it, there is something where we are starting. There are women who are leading organizations in government, in private, but we can still do better. The gaps are glaring.
You can send in your opinions or your perspectives on our WhatsApp number. That is 0709602592, and I will read them right here on air. So, Engineer Annette, I understand you are a leader and you have trained the policymakers, government officials in relation to climate resilient infrastructures. When it comes to the women and environmental stewardship, have they been rolled out enough in these conservation initiatives, from your opinion?
From my opinion, yes, I've trained in Uganda, I've trained in other countries in climate resilient infrastructure. But when it comes to women, actually some countries are doing better than others, because there are countries where I have trained and I find that participation the women and men are balanced somehow. But there are areas where you find women are fewer. And I think this is because, especially we have been training people who are mostly involved in infrastructure, engineering professionals and policymakers. Some of these are technical, they require technical skills. And when I look at the ratio of men to women in terms of technical skills, say engineering where I fall, it's still, the ratio is big. You find like women in Uganda say they are 10%. So you find, of course, then the participation will also be based on that, which means we still need like to do more, to equip women with more skills, to encourage more girls to join technical courses like engineering. Honestly, I want to say it's doable, but I think we need to build confidence of the women more and be intentional in building women's confidence to be part of technical courses. Because I know very many, because of culture, our traditions, the stereotypes, many girls are discouraged to do some of those technical courses because they are told this is for men, the math is not for women. Yeah. And then you find they back off even when they have the potential. Because I think women don't lack the potential. What they lack are the opportunities and the neighboring environment. We need to create that enabling environment that we encourage more women and be intentional, even in putting them in leadership roles. I always
you know, their offices or positions, you find that it is always hard to find a woman alone is heading that very institution. You hear staff sentiments are like, no, we have to deputize her, deputize her with a man because we do not really trust her with this institution. And it's a bit absurd.
Those are the stereotypes I'm talking about. People tend to underestimate the strength of a woman.
Speaking of that, Engineer Annette, please, would you tell us of the factors that are limiting women involvement in community development?
Yeah, the factors are real and there are many. For example, women are not being fully involved in community development because they are limited representation in leadership and planning structures. Like I said, okay, I saw in the New Vision those key ladies who are running the country. But when you go down onto other structures, like at the grassroots level, how many women are part of the leadership? How many women are closer to the decision-making table?
Beginning with the LC ones, most of them
so
are men.
If women are not involved in leadership, the representation of women is cartoon. And there is also that stereotype. If I bring an idea as a woman and I'm the only one, chances are it will not be bought. But if I had other women and we have the same mind, same thinking, then they will support me and the other people also will be able to support me. So we need to increase the representation of women. That's one challenge, the representation on leadership structures.
Before you go to something else, you talked about women supporting each other. I've seen so much on social media, especially women bringing down other women. And you find that it is the men actually who are calling out to these women. She's a fellow woman. Why are you bringing her down? Does it speak to us as women that at times we do not even hope our gender counterparts, our fellow women, to be empowered?
Yeah. That's a common problem.
You find them body shaming, having spiteful comments.
That is very common. I personally have experienced it.
Oh, sorry.
When I stood as a president for Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, the main campaigners were women. Women were the main campaigners. And men would share with me the screenshots, will share with me the vibe from the women who are campaigning me. But to me, I think we can outgrow that. First and foremost, as a woman, you need to be confident. Even when you experience such, let that stereotype don't bring you down. But of course, it's a shame that we've failed to change our mindset and accept that even women can be good leaders and support our fellow women. I have no problem supporting a fellow woman. And I always do that. Even when I go to buy things in the market, my people I buy from are women. Because I really feel I need to support women. So for me, if a woman is standing in a leadership position, the first factor I put in is she's a woman. The second is her capabilities. Especially a woman bringing down a woman is very wrong. If you feel Annette is standing and she has no qualities, at least come and mentor her, help her to be better. Even in running her campaign, advise her and guide her. But fighting each other, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't promote us as women, and men will always use it against us. So even when you are doing it to that woman, you know actually in a sense, you are decampaigning your own self, and you are you are devaluing yourself as a woman. So to me, it's wrong, but I've seen it happen, and I pray that we will outgrow that, and with awareness. That's why I'm always passionate about mentorship and coming out to talk about issues of women and how we could inspire and promote women. Because if you are doing that, then women, you create more fear, and many girls don't come out, don't stand out because they'll be brought down. Okay. Yes.
And speaking of the factors that limit women involvement, do you think women have been made aware? There are sensitization efforts that have been made to make these women realize that they can also do it. They can take up roles in high leadership and also be managers and also own their businesses.
The awareness, to me, is there if you intentionally search for it.
Intentionally search for it. It's not out there in your face at that.
It's not out there in your face. That people are always encouraging you. But to me, I think to start with, we need, first of all, to remove these barriers to unlock women's potential, full potential. We need, like in schools, we need to promote this and keep telling women, be intentional that you can do it. So even governments and institutions should look at this awareness should be done and women be promoted, and also the stereotypes of saying a woman can't do this, a woman can't be this should stop, because sometimes it even starts in our families. For example, when I was growing up as a girl, I followed 2 boys and I'm followed by a boy. Of course, I have my elder siblings who are girls also, but I grew up with those. And they used to learn how to ride bicycles, but the moment I said I wanted to learn how to ride a bicycle, my mom was against me. She was like, women don't ride, you know.
What reason was she giving?
There was no reason that women don't ride bicycles.
It was just a society norm.
It was just a society norm. So sometimes it starts from our own families. We as parents, when we are raising our children, we should be able to encourage them and give them that confidence that what your brothers can do, even if you have no brothers, what your boys can do, you can do, so that they grow up knowing that they are equal. The other people are not more superior than you.
Let's speak into weak implementation of gender-sensitive policies, especially in institutions, in workplaces, in schools, in whatever workplace that we are involved in as women, in the health sector, education, everywhere, sports. Do you think the implementation of these gender-sensitive policies has been met adequately?
That's why I said no, because you find even where they are saying in leadership roles women should take up 30%, they are not there.
Because even here, from let me give an example from the corporate world. Everyone expects these people even to know more about the sensitive gender-related issues, but you find that these are the same places that are decampaigning these gender-based sensitive policies. Yet, the ordinary Ugandan there who is watching us on the agenda expects them to uphold these policies.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. To me, I don't think there have been these gender-sensitive policies that specifically look at the vulnerabilities of women. For example, when you look at our workplaces, how many workplaces have a place for mothers, they call them baby
daycare?
No, even in a room, like I come with my maid and put her there with my baby, and anytime I can go and breastfeed my baby. How many have those in their workplaces?
So many.
So you look at it that way. You find even some workplaces, the washrooms are not separated. You share.
Really? Up to date?
Yes.
Yeah, you share with the male
women
gender?
Women and men are sharing.
You're using the same corridor. First it is the men, the urinal, and then the... Oh my God.
So some places, they have not taken them seriously. But the main thing is also, some places, even in Uganda, the law says, I think 60 days of maternity leave. How many do 60 that?
60 to 90.
Days of maternity leave. Some organizations give you, even schools. Recently there is a mother who was telling me she gave birth to a premature and she was told to report in 1 month with a premature at home. So she is threatened, her job is going, and this is a school. So I think the enforcement, I don't know whether maybe we have too many organizations and too many workplaces and the government is not able to reach everywhere, but I think the enforcement is very poor. There hasn't been much done. Yes, even like I said, areas for breastfeeding mothers, like you go in markets. One time there's a lady who was showed on TV because she was tying her baby next to her store in a market because the baby was roaming around and she was scared her baby could get lost. But then she was tying the baby on the stall, which is also against the baby's rights to be tied, I mean. But those marketplaces which have been built left and right center, do we have such a facilities, care, like daycare facilities where a woman can leave her child, run her store, and keep checking on her baby? Because these women pay taxes. Okay. And sometimes some of us who pay taxes, when we look at the output from our taxes, we feel bad. Because we feel it has not really, the question does not balance.
With the GDP,
we give too much and we get very little.
The GDP is alarming, it's over 50.28 as of today, as we speak. So when you talk about the tax and the GDP ratio, it is something that we need to look out. Actually, it's 50.29 as of late today.
I don't want to go into those finance matters, but I'm looking at the environment where women operate from and how can it be improved from their tax they pay. Can we have such a centers in schools? Because some schools, they chase you away with your baby. You can't bring a baby to school, but you expect the mother to teach. Like now this one example I was telling you of a premature. Is she going to leave the premature at home and come to teach? It would be best if there's a facility at school that she can have her baby there with a babysitter and be able to perform her duties. Because these are areas where you find the woman is emotionally and psychologically unbalanced. And therefore, even the children she's teaching, I think the input, there is imbalance in her work. Generally,
she won't effectively deliver.
Yes, because she's not herself. You've left home a young baby,
and you're coming to
and
teach
you're
other
coming to teach other people, to take care of other people's children. It doesn't balance. And then when we see this kind of abuses, and we are like, oh, what is this? So I think we need to do better. We can do better.
Okay, and speaking of which, what I mentioned was the ratio of the debt to the GDP, but apparently the Uganda tax to GDP ratio is, for the report 2024-2025 is 13.4% to 14.2%, and that also says a magnitude of what is happening in the country. So what other factors do you think, away from that, it could be environmental, it could be social, that limit women's involvement?
Okay, thank you. The other factors which limit women's involvement is the triple burden. Yes, women are required to be productive. Women are required to be domestic, to do domestic chores. Women are required to be part of the community management. And so you find the burden is too much for the women. You are a mother, you have to wake up early, prepare your kids for school. You have also to go to work.
To prepare the husband too. As you're preparing the kids, you're preparing yourself. You need to prepare the husband and also the home.
Because you prepare breakfast for the home. Then you have to also go to work. Now you go to work. Now you are also supposed to contribute to the community, part of the community. So it's a lot of pressure on women. And how do we ease this pressure? That's why I was saying, if women could be allowed to carry like their babies to all the workplaces, if they could have nurseries where women can bring their babies and be able to take care of them, it would reduce that triple burden. But also, we still have issues also of limited access to finance and land ownership. Like I said, I gave an example of Grow Project. Women are required to have that security for you to be able to be economically empowered. I'm
imagining someone wanting a collateral of a land title in Kampala, and the person seeking for the grow money is a small-scale business owner whose business could be just like about 5 million capital.
That's what I'm saying, that the conditions were not favoring women. So those are some of the barriers. Because if women are not empowered, even their participation in the community development will be low. They don't have that confidence, like I'm here and speaking because I'm an empowered woman.
Perfectly.
Yeah, I'm an empowered woman. I have an income. I can confidently speak in public. But this woman who is not economically empowered, that economic gap limits her confidence. So that confidence gap is also there. That even in our professions where we are, they are male-dominated. Okay, you could have done your engineering at the university, even got a first class, but you need mentorship for you to be able to understand how to thrive in that male-dominated environment. So women need those groups, like
the circles.
The circles. Even the community centers where they can go and learn and build their confidence.
That is in financial literacy?
It can be anything. Because I believe I've seen some countries where they have like community centers, and you find on weekends, on your day off evening, women even from the villages go and learn and better themselves. So it can even go, you can even go there to seek psychological support. Like you have a challenge, you need someone professional to speak to, and you go there and they help you. How do I overcome this? So we need to have centers that encourage women. Like you said, the awareness should be out there for women to consume, not for them to first look for it, because some don't know even where and how to look for it. And so they die silently in their movies.
That's a bit absurd. We have looked at the barriers that hinder women from getting involved in community development. Doctor, I would want you to speak into the possible solutions or practical solutions that can help us mitigate all these challenges that women face in a bid to be involved in community development.
Oh, thank you so much, and thanks for the title, Doctor.
Oh, sorry, engineer. Engineer. Yesterday I had a doctor, the acting principal.
I may get that title very soon, you never know. It could be in the making. But one thing we need to do is to include women in decision-making structures. To me, that is very important, that we need to be intentional in positioning women, encourage them. Many times I complain, like on platforms where I am, I'm like, there's no gender balance, and they're like, how many women came up? So we need. It
goes back to
how many women were standing in those positions? So we need to encourage women to be intentional. Like you said, that information of awareness should be out there, and mentorship. If you can mentor a girl, a woman, please do. We need more women to be in those positions, in decision-making structures. We need to involve women in projects from the start. Don't bring them in when it has failed, like you said, or in the middle and they don't know where to start from.
And in the end, they are times blamed. Is it because of a woman?
Bring them from the start, involve them from the beginning. Then we also need to invest in skills and leadership training. Capacity building is very key and important.
There is a presidential initiative in scaling the girl child headed by Dr. Hilary Musoke Sanja. I think government is in a way trying to mitigate that of illiteracy and equipping the young girls, especially from a young age, with skills to help them be entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I understand. Skilling, yes. but the environment.
Oh.
These girls who are going for skilling, like, for example, do they have the community support where they are going to skill?
Okay. 2,
is the environment favoring them? And 3, when they get out, how many, because sometimes it's not just about getting the skill, but using the skill.
After.
Yeah, especially if you are doing a technical skill, like some of us who went to technical colleges, you find after learning in school, you need now to work on real projects. Real, not those practical, like boards, you are wiring boards and or you are designing. You need to be positioned in a real work environment. So those girls, if they have done, say, tailoring, they should be brought to Chiembe and empowered, be bought materials, be attached to seniors who are doing the same things, because those guys will give you just, I can say, like 10% of the skills.
I like what you said, be attached to seniors, because once they are passed out, normally they are given, like for example, tailoring, they are given sewing machines, though that may be the placement after that could be the challenge now.
Because now, who will bring you her first material?
To destroy. When the client, they're having...
So you need to be attached to the real work environment where there are senior people who are doing the same. Like for example, I've been making a lot of noise, I can say, on structuring industrial training. These days we have so many graduates who graduate in engineering courses, but you find many of them are seated at home. Some fail even to get industrial training. And even when they get it, they are giving them 2 weeks. 2 weeks are not enough to learn the skills you need. Some of us, when we were going to school, industrial training was 3 months, 3 full months. You are working in a real work environment, doing the work you are learning at school. So this is what is lacking mostly. Okay. The real work environment and the mentorship and the training there after school environment. Now you are being trained on the job, and that if you work with me, who is an expert, for 1 or 2 months, you'll be able to learn more, you'll be able to connect with the customers, the real customers for your business. Now you live with your baking flour and what? Who will give you the first cake? Who will tell you to make the first cake for his or her wedding or her birthday? That is missing. There is a gap. Okay. Now from school, transitioning to real work environment, there is a big gap there.
Okay. What other practical solutions?
Yeah, other practical solutions were, yes, that's capacity building. We are looking at, like we said, that one we have said a bit about awareness that women should be supported and given the information that will help them to overcome those like stereotypes or cultural barriers. But another practical involvement in terms of empowerment is give them access to finance. Trust them. Finance is very key, by the way. If
the finance has been given by the government, but I think the process in which these people are supposed to receive the money becomes the challenge. Because, for example, if we are taking a case study of the GROW project, the money was disbursed, but because of the technicalities in acquiring it, some women were not able.
So was that money given, or it was also, I don't want to say the government was tricking us? Because I mean, if you say there is money in the bank and you don't enable me to get the money, you give me very hard conditions to access that money. Have you really given me the money? Huh?
Not really.
You've not really given me the money. So to me, it's very important, and supporting women-led businesses. Okay. Like I said, the first business is very hard to get. Me, when I opened my 3N Inktek, I have not done any job with Ugandans. My luck has just been in international organizations. I've worked with Red Arrow since 2023. I've done work with the Global Center on Adaptation, which is also not a Ugandan firm.
Why is
I
it
can
so?
boastfully say I've won a grant from Royal Academy of Engineering where I'm going to be doing a project with electrical workers, the so-called wiremen in this country. Okay. And we are starting this month.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm being supported basically by international organizations. Because where I have applied in Uganda, people ask you the similar jobs you've done as a company.
And you begin talking of abroad.
Is it 1 year old? This is our second year. Where would I have gotten the job?
Interesting.
So, business which are led by women, I don't know whether all businesses, but they will knock you on that technical bit, that your company has not been there for 10 years.
Experience. This is quite interesting, so, but I think we should have some more time
some
later.
Practical, it's something that we need to be deliberate about to support startups. Okay. I can say startups in general. Okay, for the interest of time, Doctor, please can I have your closing remarks to the women and to those who think women should not be empowered in less than a minute. Okay, thank you so much. I want to say that community development cannot succeed if half of the population is excluded from planning and decision making. Like I said, in Uganda we are 50-50. So let's be deliberate and intentional and bring women on the table, on the decision making table. Because when women are empowered, communities become more resilient, more innovative, and more prosperous. Where is 3N Consult, 3N Inktek located? In Bukoto, UCB zone. Okay. Thank you. We were looking at the role of women in community development, and we were having an in-depth interview with Engineer Nsimire Annette, who is a Ugandan engineer consultant and trainer with over 20 years of experience. For those of you who have missed the show, you can still go on our YouTube channel, and that is UBC TV Uganda. You will find everything in there. More programming is coming up. My name is Joan N. Murungi. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained